Early that morning, I had just finished checking the building and stepped through the perimeter gate when I heard distant footsteps. I paused. A few feet away, I spotted a stalker. Well, formerly a stalker. Now he was just another poor soul, brain scrambled by the latest emission. The lights were on, but nobody was home. I was bored, really bored. So, naturally, I decided to follow him. I sneaked a little, just to see if he'd react. Nothing. He just kept stumbling forward, lost in whatever broken thought process was left rattling around in his skull. I had spent the entire day looting stashes, shooting at some particularly angry bandits, crawling through dark, damp bunkers, fighting Darkside Rudolph, an evil reindeer sent by Santa himself to punish me for being a bad boy. Then there was the screaming like a little girl from Bloodsuckers. And the moment when a pseudo-giant, big, ugly, and with the emotional range of a brick, swept me off my feet like some nightmarish ballroom dance partner and nearly crushed me to death. The zone had been throwing everything at me for days. Maybe I needed a break. Maybe I should just follow this guy, see where he was going. Did he even have a destination? Or was he just wandering aimlessly, like a drunk man searching for a bathroom? Come to think of it, since arriving here with Dr. Herman, I don't think I've ever used a bathroom. Or did I? Maybe offline. But before that, I checked my PDA map to get my bearings. No point in getting lost while following a brain-fried tour guide. The weather was clear, the sun was shining. It was a beautiful morning. Well, as beautiful as mornings get in the zone. A perfect day for a relaxing stroll through a place that wanted me dead. Still, maybe, just maybe, the zone would be kind today. Maybe this little zombie-following experiment would be peaceful. A chance to think, to reflect, to see where life, or whatever was left of it, would take us. Whatever. I think I'll follow this guy, just for a change of pace. Then I remembered that electric poltergeist I was chasing. Maneuvering around a container van, blasting my pump shotgun, trying to land every shot. Pumped lead into its ass, took it down like a champ, then immediately stepped into an electrical anomaly and passed out like an absolute moron.
The brood and the commissary are gonna tear us apart now. Either them or their masters. What do we do?
Then I woke up at the slag heap in the garbage zone. No clue how I got there, but one thing was clear, that guy was getting really annoying. Every time I woke up, he kept mumbling the same damn line, "The brood will tear us apart," over and over. I swear, the moment I get the chance, I'm putting him out of my misery. Then I remembered stumbling across this weird symbol in a damaged silo. Grabbed some loot. Then, because I'm me, I decided to chuck a grenade into the opening. Boom. Chain reaction. One explosion led to another, tearing open the nearby silos like a tin can. And guess what? Hidden inside was a freaking vault. Cracked it open and found this absolute beast of a rifle called Trophy. Thing was near the Duga region. Damn good find.
Field. I loved running through that place, so red, so full of flowers, like a field of dreams, peaceful, relaxing. Problem was, it made me really sleepy. That's where I found this weird flower. Smelled strange, but every time I used it, it bloomed again when I woke up. No idea how it works, but I wish there were more fields like that in the zone.
As I was descending the edge of the rail bridge, a distress call crackled through the radio. Someone needed help.
Hey! Who's there? Help me! I'm here, man!
I had no idea what to expect, but I knew I had to act fast. When I arrived at the warehouse, I was met with a nasty surprise. Massive, terrifying boars lying there, eerily calm. Something felt off, but there was no time to hesitate. The moment I stepped closer, they sprang to life. I blasted them down one by one. With the place finally clear, I rushed upstairs to find the guy in distress. To my astonishment, he was stuck, literally upside down, his feet wedged into the planks of the floor. For a moment, I wasn't sure whether to help him or just burst out laughing. Hunting artifacts in the zone was the best. Nothing beat the thrill of finding something rare. But if you somehow managed to snag a crazy legendary artifact like the liquid rock, oh man, that was peak happiness. Like winning the lottery, except with more radiation and mutant ambushes. After some time spent thinking and reminiscing, I suddenly realized that me and my brain-dead zombie guide had somehow stumbled into the chopper field. A graveyard for helicopters, littered with rusting military trucks and dozers, all marinating in radiation. A perfect vacation spot, if you're into glowing in the dark. Then I remembered the wandering lights out in the Zaytan region. Those eerie green lights floating around, slowly drifting toward me. At first, I thought they looked pretty cool, until I realized they were acid. Good times. Later, I found this weird old bottle. Maybe it was wine, maybe it was something else. Either way, I figured I'd already had too much to drink, so I did the only logical thing. I sold it to that bald guy, Sidorovich. Speaking of that bald guy, Sidorovich, one time, he asked me to eliminate some competitors holed up far out in the tunnel.
Who are you? What's your business here?
What's so important, Vovan? He's alone and I'm right here. So you want to talk, Stalker? Let's talk.
So I went there, ready for a job well done. But instead of killing them, I ended up helping them.
Sidorovich hired me to eliminate you. I'm not gonna do it, but he'll send someone else and he won't stop until it's done.
Guess that makes me a bad guy with a good heart sometimes.
The brood and the commissary are gonna tear us apart now. Either them or
Helping
the
them?
masters.
Yeah, awful
What do we
idea.
do?
Thought I could handle it, turns out they handled me. Next thing I know, I'm waking up in the slag heap again, head pounding, pride shattered. And of course, the first thing I hear, that annoying guy, probably smirking. Honestly, I might just pass out again for some peace and quiet. As my zombie guide shuffles into the junkyard, I suddenly remember this one time in a dark, damp cave. I heard something breathing, deep, guttural, terrifying. So, naturally, I lobbed all of my grenades. Smart, right? Nope. Whatever it was came pouncing out like it just drank a gallon of skooma. Tried to heal, too late. Next thing I knew, I was out cold, questioning my life choices. Truly pathetic. Then I woke up in Cilicia, in the Lesser Zone region. Thank the divines, the annoying guy wasn't there, he was still back in the slag heap. If I had woken up there again, I swear, I would have killed him on the spot. And so, as my zombie guide slowly waddles toward a parked military truck, looking like he's on a casual evening stroll through hell, I trudge behind him, stepping over a glorious pile of abandoned junk. The radiation crackles in the air, probably cooking me like a rat roach on a spit. Fantastic, just another day in paradise. Then I remember those guys at a campfire in Cilicia, swapping stories about a mysterious ball just lying there on a rock near a massive anomaly in the east, the Bulba. Supposedly, it's just sitting there, waiting. Sounds harmless, right? Yeah, except for the part where the Bulba is basically a giant cosmic vacuum cleaner. Right as they're talking, a lightning bolt cracks behind the campfire, like the universe itself is adding dramatic effect. Do they even flinch? Nope. These guys are legendary, cool, calm, unbothered, and yet even they won't go near that ball. That should have been my warning. But of course, I had to try anyway. And, well, you know how that ended. Spoiler, badly. And so, back to my zombie guide. As we shuffle toward a line of abandoned trucks, a thought hits me. I've spent way too much time looting, searching, and fighting for my life. Maybe, just maybe, this is a good thing. A peaceful stroll with my undead buddy. No gunfire, no explosions, no mutant horrors trying to eat my face. Just me, him, and the sweet crackling sound of radiation slowly ruining my DNA. Ah, serenity. Remember that one very irresponsible thing I did? Had way too much vodka and thought, hey, you know what would be a great idea? Petting a pseudo giant. A pseudo giant? Yeah, brilliant. For some reason, I thought I could befriend it. Maybe give it a little pat on the head, earn its trust. Turns out, it did not appreciate my drunken diplomacy. It just stood there, seething, then started stomping like I had personally ruined its entire existence. Next thing I knew, boom, I was knocked down, face flat in the dirt. Then, darkness. And then, I had a dream, a beautiful dream. I was back in the poppy field, bathed in golden sunlight, the flowers swaying in the breeze. Birds chirped. Everything was peaceful. Too peaceful. That's when I knew something was wrong. The warm breeze vanished, and the chirping birds, silent. The flowers, wilting into dust. The colors faded, the golden sunlight died, and just like that, I wasn't in the poppy field anymore. I was back in that death cave, trapped. I remember the first time I entered this cave, a real death trap. Vortex anomalies everywhere, just waiting to turn me into spaghetti. But at the end, jackpot, a pebble artifact and some sweet loot. Score. Or so I thought, because the moment I grabbed the goods, bam, controller shows up, grinning like he just won the lottery. And guess what? There's no way out. Now I know why they call it Death Cave, because you either die or wish you did. I panicked hard, scrambling, tripping, probably screaming. At one point, I might have tried to run through a vortex anomaly out of pure desperation, but somehow, by sheer dumb luck, I found the exit and bolted out of there like my life depended on it. Because, well, it did. Then I woke up, drenched in sweat, heart pounding. What a nightmare, absolutely horrible. Still feeling on edge, I grabbed a can of tuna, pried it open, and started eating like a man who just escaped death. Because, well, I kinda did. Tuna never tasted so good. And so, back to my zombie guide. We kept walking, weaving through rusted military trucks like two guys on a casual evening stroll, except one of us was technically dead. Honestly, it was kinda nice. No mutants, no anomalies, nothing trying to eat my face. For once, I wasn't running, shooting, or screaming. I started thinking, maybe this is the zone's way of giving me a break. A peaceful, quiet walk with a half-rotten corpse. How relaxing. One time, while I was strolling through the garbage region, I heard a distress call on my radio. Some poor guy stuck in a field of electrical anomalies.
Over here! Stalker!
Being the heroic and slightly bored stalker that I am, I decided to help.
You're my fucking savior, man! God, am I ever going to see you? Get me out of here!
Carefully guided him out, step by step.
Man, I thought I was going to die of old age in that damn anomaly. Abracadabra, and it's all yours. If you ever swing by the foot...
He rewarded me with a Rat King anomaly. A freaking Rat King. Thanks, buddy. Exactly what I always wanted. A cursed ball of mutant rodents fused together. Ever found the worst anomaly you've ever seen? I'm not talking about the ones that just want to burn, rip, and poison you. Nah, this one was something else. It was called the Wall Anomaly. Visually disgusting. Imagine a wall covered in pulsating, twitching, protruding spikes like it was half alive and very upset about it. Just staring at it made me nauseous. The longer I looked, the worse it got. My stomach did an Olympic-level somersault, and I had to physically stop myself from decorating the floor with my last meal. Then came one of the worst things I've ever witnessed. Some poor guy got caught in a world gig anomaly. 1 second he was there, panicking, flailing, screaming. The next, he was spinning like laundry on max speed. Do I feel sorry? Yeah. Do I feel a little annoyed? Also, yeah. Because instead of running or doing anything useful, he just kept screaming, like the anomaly was going to suddenly grow a conscience and let him go. Spoiler, it didn't. He got ripped apart midair, limbs flying like a brutal fireworks display. And I just stood there thinking, well, that was unpleasant. Then I remembered the fire whirl. Some stalkers were swapping stories about an artifact called the Weird Nut. Supposedly, it just sits there, waiting to be claimed, except for the tiny little problem that it's inside a raging firenado spinning inside a cooling tower. Naturally, I thought, yeah, I can totally get that. And you know what? I did. Grabbed it, felt like a champion, then immediately jumped down before I got roasted. Minor issue. I did not realize it was way too high. Next thing I knew, back in Cilicia. No clue who scraped me off the ground and patched me up, but hey, shout out to my mystery medic. Hope they at least took my boots as payment. So, back to my zombie guide, still shuffling along like we were out for a nice evening stroll. You know, just two pals, one slightly more decomposed than the other. Then suddenly a group of stalkers appeared, marching straight toward us. My first thought, finally, they're gonna blast my zombie buddy into the afterlife where he belongs. But nope, they just walked right past us, barely even glancing at him. Like seeing a guy casually strolling with a half-rotted corpse was completely normal. No questions, no bullets, just a silent, yep, carry on with your therapy stroll. At that moment, I wasn't sure what was worse, the radiation, the mutants, or the fact that I was now officially part of the zone's weirdest buddy cop duo. And so, we kept walking, passing a busted fence along some murky pond, the water looking about as inviting as a radioactive soup. And that's when it hit me. What the hell am I even doing here? I've been shot at. Electrocuted. Nearly burned alive. Tossed around by anomalies. And at one point, I tried to befriend a mutant the size of a small car. Now I'm casually strolling with a zombie, like we're out for a therapeutic nature walk instead of trekking through one of the deadliest places on Earth. This wasn't just survival anymore. This was full-blown insanity. And just as I was finally enjoying this rare moment of peace, my zombie guide, without a second thought, without a single brain cell firing, walked straight into a vortex anomaly. No dramatic struggle, no last-minute realization, just plop, straight down like a sack of expired meat. 1 second he was there, the next he was a pile of limbs on the ground. I just stood there, staring at what used to be my oddly therapeutic